Hello, everyone. If you're just popping in, you can say hello in the comments. I'm just going to give everybody time to come in and get settled. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening tonight. I had the busiest day ever. Hi, Amanda. So nice to see you. We might do a little coloring tonight. I haven't exactly decided yet. I can't zoom in. The way I have this set up, I just record from my iPhone and I can't zoom in. So I feel like coloring would be like hard. So I have a coloring option and a not coloring option. We'll see. Hi, Kate. Hi, Penny. Yes. Hi, Sandy. Yeah, I am feeling a lot better. I still have a little bit of a lingering like cough and sore throat, but I just keep ice water like right here on my desk, and I seem to be able to be okay for a little while. It is cold here, you guys. Hello, hello, everyone. Hi, Carol. How are you doing today? Oh, so nice to see everyone this evening. Yay. All my favorite scrappy peeps. All right. Tonight's bundle features some of the new cardstocks. So we have the blue jean cardstock and the mermaid glitter stock. I just have like I don't want to open or start cutting into a new sheet of paper because we're only going to use a little bit of each of these. So I have just some scraps. And then we also have the Latte Love stamp set and the embossing powder of the month, which is called Tinsel Dust. So we're going to play with that a little bit. That'll be really fun. So we're going to do some heat embossing. I have my embossing ink and some Simon Hurley Midnight Snack, which we still not have figured out why navy blue is called Midnight Snack, but okay. Yes, it's so cold here too. Sandy says it's 48 degrees here. Yeah. Can you tell that it's cold here too? I'm a firm believer in not turning on your heat till November 1st, but I think we're gonna have to turn on the heat. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna start by cutting all of my paper down. And we might do some coloring. I'm going to kind of leave that up to all of you guys if you want to. My problem is that if I don't think you'll actually see me color because I can't zoom in. So. This sheet is going to be cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is just white cardstock. And then I am going to also cut a wee little 1/2 inch strip from the 4 1/4 side. So we're going to have that as well. From the blue jean paper, we're going to cut 2 1-inch strips. And these are going to be 1 inch by 4 1/4. And then from this mermaid glitter stock. So this glitter stock is like the glitteriest glitter stock ever. You only need wee little bits of it. And for a card project. So I'm going to cut one strip that is 1/4 of an inch and one strip that is 1/2 an inch. By 4 1/4. And in case you're wondering about this glitter stock, yes, no shed, no glitter. Cut it into little strips. Worked perfectly. I also, someone messaged me and asked me about die cutting the glitter stock with like an intricate die, and would it work or not? So I grabbed one of my intricate dies and some glitter stock and did some die cutting, and it works beautifully. Again, no shedding, works great. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. Jamie says the glitter stock is amazing. I'm gonna catch up on your comments here. Hello, Karen. Hi, Jamie. Susan said she's really for the first time in her life. Yes, I'm feeling better. Thank you. 87 degrees here. Oh, super jealous because it's cold. She says she's giving up, no more typing. It's okay, Susan. I don't mind. I'm the same way. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start our project with our embossing powder and our embossing ink and the 2 little strips. I'm going to use my Misty, but I'm not going to use the door. Instead, I'm going to use an acrylic block, and I'm using my Misty just to hold on to my little strip of paper so things get stamped the way I want them to. I'm going to grab an acrylic block. Oh, it's already on my desk. Right here. Ta-da! So the smallest acrylic block that you have, I do have quite the tiny one. So that's awesome. And then, I don't want to get ink on my sweatshirt. I mean, I also don't want my wrist to get cold, but we'll have to just deal with that. Tonight's stamp set, which is called A Latte Love, it has all of these tiny stamps. So look at that teeny tiny little dot right there. Here's another teeny tiny little dot, and then we have some snowflakes and some more teeny tiny little dots. I love these teeny tiny little dot stamps. Like, they're so good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, starting with the snowflake and then the teeny tiny dots, we're going to create our own pattern with those stamps on each of these blue strips with embossing ink. So one thing I love, if you've never used Burgess Monroe's embossing ink before, it stays wet for a long time. So sometimes you'll have an embossing ink and you'll stamp it on your paper, and it pretty much, like, you have to heat emboss it immediately or it just goes and sucks it right in. Burgess Monroe's stays on top and stays wet for a really nice amount of time, which means I'm going to be able to use all these teeny tiny little stamps, and I'm going to be able to stamp out a whole pattern on this strip, and it's not going to get dry on me before I use the embossing. ink or the embossing powder and my heat tool. So I'm just getting, this is my brand new, excuse me a second, let me grab a drink. This is my brand new embossing ink. This is the stamping one. That's really, really pristine. It's not the one that's been eaten by the mixed media. So we have a big dot and we have a teeny dot, and we're going to use both of those. So I have the snow flakes here. And then we're going to come in with the big dot. And then we're going to come in with the teeny tiny dot. And I love this. And you'll see this again. We're going to pretty much stamp the entire back of our card, like the entire background, just in a couple different ways. So there is our first one. So I'll kind of show it up to the light so you can see. And that stays wet. That's the best part. Stays wet. So this is the embossing powder of the month. It is called Tinsel Dust. So it is not opaque, right? It's a translucent embossing powder with a little bit of shimmer to it. So it's going to give us this like glittery tone on tone look. Like you can see it, but it's not, when I dry it, you'll see. So I'm just going to flick off extra. Because it dries translucent, it just dries with, it's going to give us like this, yeah, like it'll look enameled. I guess enameled is sort of the word I'm thinking of. So isn't that pretty? See how it's like, I'm going to try to get it in the light. The light to shine right on it so you can see like but it has a little bit of sparkle to it. Really, really pretty. Oh, that was a good shot right there. Oh, really pretty. So that's the first one. We're going to do a second one now. Same idea. We're going to take that little strip that's 1 inch by 4 1/4, pop it into the MISTI and do the same thing. Start with the big snowflake and then go to the little dots. I find stamping patterns to be incredibly therapeutic. I also find that I truly enjoy like stacking die cuts up. So that like repetitive, busy type of work, I like it. I really think better when my hands are moving. Like even if I'm listening to something and I want to like think and be able to kind of remember and take in the information that I'm listening to, I find that I retain way more of it if my hands are doing something completely repetitive like this. So here's our second one. And that was nice and quick. It doesn't take very long. Just start with your biggest stamp that you want to use and then move down from big to small. Same thing, flip it over. Click off the extra. Now, when you get, if you order a bundle tonight, they, the embossing powder comes in a little bag. It doesn't come in this little jar. I transfer my embossing powder. I have empty jars and I transfer my embossing powder from the little bags to the jars because I found the jars just easier to work with. So if you get the bundle and you get a little bag with your embossing powder in it, yes, that's correct. Correct. Yep. Amanda says it's glossy and sparkly. Yep, it's lovely. So here's our second one. So there's like our first part. All right. So now this is the white card base. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and grab my old school pencil. So I have my two 1-inch strips. One goes across the top, one goes across the bottom. And then we have our two glitter pieces. The wider one, which is the 1/2-inch one, that one's going to go at the bottom. I'm not going to put these on. I'm just going to kind of line them up about where they're going to go. Then I'm going to take my little pencil and I'm going to make just the tiniest little mark because I don't want to stamp where I don't need to stamp. Okay. So then for the top, we have our 1-inch strip and then the 1/4-inch width. And the same thing, make a little mark with your pencil so you know where the open area is. And then in the open area between those two pencil marks, we're going to make that same pattern with those same stamps, but in navy ink. Which is going to give us some contrast. Yes, Carol. Yep, you can. Yep, if you use, yep. Thank you, Penny. Yeah, my affiliate link is always in the description box, and that there's two links there, but honestly, it doesn't matter which one you use. One goes just straight to tonight's bundle, and one is a link that goes just to the store. Whichever link you use, it doesn't matter. It'll put the same cookie in the website and then whatever you order. will work. To the best of my knowledge, that's how it works. I'm going to go ahead and clean these off as I go because I don't want the embossing ink. Now I just want the... So we're going to use these little pencil marks as guides. We're going to ink up our stamp. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with those little strips, just on a larger area. So I'm going to start with that big snowflake. And I'm just going to randomly stamp them. And I'm going to keep my stamp cloth right here handy because I don't want to smudge any ink where I don't want it to go. I am going to do a couple. So here I can see my pencil mark, and I'm going to do a couple that come down below that mark to make it appear in the finished card like it is infinity. And like I somehow managed to just took the time to stamp all of this, but we're going to do it a little bit of the cheater method here because we're going to cover those pieces up. Okay. And very, very random. There's no rhyme or reason to how I am stamping this other than I'm going from my biggest image to my smallest image. And then you can kind of see here, whenever I get that little bit of ink, we don't want that because inevitably I will somehow manage to get it onto the white. So we're just going to go ahead. Now we have our small one. This is a quiet live tonight. It's because I get in the zone. I do that when I color too. I love this stamp. Like, look, that teeny tiny little dot stamp just makes me so happy. It's just perfect. And there's 2 of them on the stamp set. It's like they knew I'm clumsy, and I'm going to end up dropping one. So they gave me 2. So you can just keep going with this until you're happy. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to make sure I don't have like obvious like open spaces where I maybe don't want them. So I'm going to kind of put this into the top and make sure that it looks complete. It looks like it's keeps going past or beyond my little scraps, my little strips here. So that looks good. Okay. Oh, hello, Irma. Oh, Carol, I so appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, one more thing we're going to stamp. I forgot this one. I tried to do it all at once, right? Like we did all the paper. We're going to cut all the paper all at the same time. And then we're going to do all the heat embossing all at the same time. We're going to do all the stamping all at the same time. That's the plan anyway. Because then I know I can move. Like I can take my paper trimmer and I can put it aside and I'm not going to need it again. Or I can take my Misty and I can just put it to the side and I'm not going to need it again. So sometimes that doesn't work if you don't have a game plan or you're not 100% sure what you're going to do. But when you have a definite like game plan, you know what you're going to do. It's nice to be able to kind of batch each of those things all together. Okay, so we're going to use this sentiment. It says, wishing you a latte love this winter. And this is a coffee stamp. It has all these cute little coffee drinks on it. So we're going to use those cute little coffee drinks. So I'm going to try to get this perfectly stamped. Now, while I do that, you guys can vote on this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this nice and stamped. And then do you want me to pull out my zigs and color one of these coffees for you? I'm not sure how much you'll see because of like the far away and the close up, but I'm willing to try. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Or I can just show you the 3 I've already colored. We can just use those. And then our live tonight will be very short. But I don't mind coloring one of them live for you. It's just I'm not sure how much you'll really be able to see because they're not very big. So I got my sentiment on this strip as nice and even. And I'm not giving this a lot of pressure because this is a really delicate stamp, but I'm going to let it sit on the paper so that the ink will transfer without the smooshing. And I want it to be crisp and clean. So Stellar ink with the foam pad, just tap, tap, tap. And then not a lot of pressure. Just run your finger over it a little bit and then just let it. And we're going to do that a couple times. So that ink, so your impression doesn't become mushy. I hope that makes sense. You've done it, right? Where you press too hard on a stamp and it goes, and then on your actual stamp, on your impression, it's like, and all mushy. Yeah, we don't want that. No coloring. Okay. Irma says keep sentiment. Amanda says don't color. All right. You know what we could do? Okay, so let me ask you, I don't know if it's still in the shop or not. Are there still shimmer pens in the shop? Oh no. I know, isn't the stamp set adorable, Irma? I love it too. It's so, so, so cute. Okay, so there's our sentiment. And because when I was doing this, I meant to check and see earlier if there was still shimmer pens in the shop. Okay. So there's our sentiment. And then, so the stamp set has 2 sentiments. It has all those cute little stamps, the little dots, and then it has these 4 little coffee latte mugs. There's one pearl shimmer pen in stock. Oh boy. Well, maybe we won't pull that out. I mean, it's not out of stock, right? So here are the 3 little coffee cups that I have all colored up. And if you have a shimmer pen, these would be really cute with some shimmer pen accents, I think. So if you have one hanging out, but how cute are those? So there are the 3 little coffee cups that I colored. I color with Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. That is what I am the most comfortable with. I don't think there is, when it comes to coloring, I think that it's just important that you know your pens, right? You know what you're working with and how it functions. And so I would suggest, if you're just getting into coloring, pick one brand, one kind, and then practice, 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 whether it's alcohol markers, whether it's like a water-based marker, or I use the watercolor, the Zig markers, the Clean Color Real Brush markers, whatever you want to go with. My best advice is pick one brand, one kind of pen, get yourself a starter set, and then practice, 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 practice. So there are our 3 little coffee mugs. They are super cute. So I am a huge peppermint girl. I love peppermint. It is like my favorite flavor. So during winter, I call it minter, and I do all the peppermint mochas, all the peppermint candies, peppermint M&Ms, and I often will buy the peppermint candy and then freeze it all in my um freezer, because I almost like that's almost the only candy I like. I'm not gonna say it's the only candy I like, because I also really love honey, and sometimes some salted caramel, but I don't have the biggest sweet tooth, so, but I really love peppermint. So this is one of our 1-inch strips, and then this is the 3/4-inch strip, and it's gonna go right here. So that's gonna be the bottom. And then the top is gonna have the same 1-inch strip, but then the thin 1/4-inch strip. Okay. And then the smaller one. And that gives us this cute little open spot. Oh, hold on 1 second. I did not. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Penny says, did you see the peppermint stick Kit Kats at Scoozy's? I did not see the peppermint stick Kit Kats at Scoozy's. So we all know what I will be doing after I'm done today with my live, because those would freeze beautifully. Okay, so there's our card. And then we're going to do our sentiment across just a little bit above from the bottom. And that's going to give us, the reason I have the sentiment on a strip. Now I'm distracted by peppermint stick Kit Kats. The reason I have this on a strip is so that I have somewhere that my little coffees can kind of sit on top of. I didn't want them to look like they were floating up in the sky somewhere. So I thought if we did a nice sentiment strip, then they have a little shelf that they can sit on. So we have two of these little guys, and then this one in the middle. I'm actually going to start with the little snowman latte and put him in first because I want them. I'm going to put the snowman like down a little bit so it kind of looks like he's sitting in front of the two in the back. And he's like, and here's the link. I'll never go back and find that after my live, though. I'll have to go searching for them. I'll find them, though. Oh, that sounds so good. And then we're going to just center this right. So in case you're wondering, in case you decide you want to make this card and grab a bundle and play along, when you have this latte, the word latte is in the middle. So if you put your 3 little coffee cups right up on top, like center it over the word latte, it'll be nice and centered on your card. Stop it! Stop. I don't know if you can see my dog or not. He's here. He says he wants attention. Andy's peppermint bark snap bar. Oh, thank you, Irma. Thank you so much. So there is our card for tonight. And if you get the bundle, you'll get the full pack of the blue jean cardstock, the full pack of the glitter, and you can see how much we use just on this little card, on one card, right? So you could really batch this card and make a lot of them with the one bundle because you're only using a little bit of the cards. The stamps you can stamp over and over again. Same with, white cardstock. You have white cardstock in your stash, right? So you could make lots and lots of cards pretty quickly, especially if you batch them like I just did, like if you cut all the paper and then did all the stamping and then the only thing would be your coloring might take a little while. If you are not a colorer, what you could do is you could stamp these with distress ink, right? Like one of the blue ones or brown ones, like maybe Vintage Photo, or what's that one that's real dark blue? And then get a water brush and just kind of go over it a little bit to kind of smudge it and give it that watercolory look. And then you could do it without having to color up the coffee mugs if you didn't want to. So there's our stamp project. Don't buy them all because I need some. I'll race ya. I'll race ya over to Scoozy's. Oh my goodness. Okay, so those Junior Mints Peppermint Crunch, I've had those before. They are so good. I had them one year. And they're delicious. I mean, delicious. Delicious. I have had those. All right. Well, I'm going to go buy some peppermint candy. I don't know about you guys. Here's our finished card. All done. I got to go race Kenny. Where did that come from? Race Penny to the Scoozy shop. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's card project. I will see you again next Monday. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye.